Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Today we're going to be making an herbal tea. I have to have a disclaimer in here. The content of this video is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any condition and does not offer medical advice. If you feel unwell, seek a professional medical help. And always check with your doctor before trying anything new, such as herbal teas. So today we're going to be talking about pine needles and the benefits of pine needles and why you should try this tea. It has a very pleasant taste, reminds me of Christmas time, except only in a mug. It's rich in vitamin C, has 5 more times the vitamin C potency of just taking a vitamin C, and more than any citrus fruit that you could possibly eat. It's an immune builder. It helps fight illnesses and infections, heart disease, varicose veins, and fatigue. It contains high levels of vitamin A, which is good for your eyes. It improves your hair and skin regeneration. It also improves red blood cell production. It helps to fight a cough, a cold, a chest congestion, and can even soothe a sore throat. Clinical research is still being conducted and is believed to lower the bad cholesterol. It's also an antifungal, antibacterial, and has anti-cancer properties in this tea. It also can help you with your allergies and help you with high blood pressure and anxiety. It also improves the circulation and blood flow, reducing blood clots. So today I'm going to show you how to make pine needle tea and just how easy it is to make pine needle tea. I've already gathered some pine needles. Pick out all the brown ones if you see any brown ones in there. We don't need those. And I'm making this video outside. I normally would make my tea inside. There's no particular reason for doing it outside, except I figure lots of people have been inside because of the pandemic, and I live out in the country, so I like to be outside, and I thought y'all would enjoy it outside as well. And plus the lighting is much better out here than inside. So I gathered my pine needles. You always want to wash your herbs. Brought some water out here. I would normally do this in my sink, and I would make a large batch of it and store it, dehydrate it, have it throughout the winter. But since it's an evergreen plant, they're green here year round. I just go through the needles and separate them a little bit. And I always sprinkle some salt in there. Why salt? Salt has no effect on the flavor whatsoever. The salt is going to make the bugs and insect waste, whatever might be on the pine needles from the birds, to make it get out of it so that your pine needles are clean. Yes, you're still going to boil the pine needles, and it may kill some of the germs, but I still like to give it a good wash. So I've already washed them. The next step is chop off all the ends of the pine needles, all the little brown parts. I've already done that because it's going to be too much trouble to go through out here to show you how to do it. But I cut them a couple of inches. These are some that I've already cut and had saved for later. And you put about, depending on how much tea, I'm going to make 2 cups of tea. So it's going to be roughly 6 to 8 tablespoons, of pine needles. And of course I'm not measuring. I hardly ever measure. There are still a few little brown ends on mine. I do have arthritis in my hand, so it is a little difficult for me to do. So I'm just going to stuff my little tea infuser. And that's really simple. That's all there is to it. Now, bring your water to a boil. You do not boil the pine needles. You just want it to steep in the hot water. And you could also add other herbs to this tea drink. I've tried a couple different things. Mint is really good in it. You want to let this steep for about 5 to 10 minutes. It'll get a nice yellow color. Alright, the tea's been steeping for about 5 minutes or so. It's a really light pale color, but it smells really strong, so I know it's probably good. So I usually use honey. I don't like to use sugar. I try to use all natural stuff in my teas. So I'm just going to go ahead and put me some in the bottom of my cup. It's probably about a couple teaspoons. You put however much you like to taste. You could also use sugar or stevia or any other kind of sweetener. We don't have honeybees on the homestead just yet, but it is something we're planning on getting in the near future. I would like to say, if y'all are planning on collecting some pine needles, be sure not to collect them on the sides of the roads. They spray all that stuff for insects and weeds, might have chemicals in it. And also, the cars that pass by have toxic fumes blowing on this kind of stuff. So make sure you go visit your friend out in the country and collect some pine needles or some other herbs. Or if you're blessed and you have property where you have access to pine trees that you could reach the pine needles from, that would be a good idea. A nice outing to bring the kids along and teach them about pine needles. The Native Americans were the ones that discovered this tea, and lots of people have forgotten about it. So it's a really easy tea to make. It's very frugal and just about completely free. So I would like to encourage y'all to give it a try. And thank y'all for watching from the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Don't forget to like our channel or subscribe or share this channel and leave me a friendly comment. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.